Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Nick from ForexNoobs.com with the daily analysis. Today is Tuesday, the 29th of October, 2019, and the time is 10 a.m. here in the UK. You're looking at an AUDCAD daily chart. I'm going to go up to an AUDUSD daily chart. Today's analysis, we're going to be looking for price action setups. We're going to be taking a quick look at the news, what's coming up this week, and at some of the trades we took last week, see how they're progressing and all that. So let's just dive right in here. Just try to bring the news up. Hello, watch and see. All right, we'll start things off with the news. Just take a quick look at what's going on. What? For some reason, this has reset. Oh, no. What am I talking about? Here, now it's working. Cool. So, what do we have today? Today we have the CB Consumer Confidence Report coming out of the US. I'm not too worried about this one, so yeah, whatever. Before the next webinar, which will be at around 10 a.m. tomorrow, we have some stuff happening. CPI and the trimmed mean out of Australia. Again, I'm not too worried about that. It can impact the market, don't get me wrong, but on the higher time frames, it tends not to have too big of an impact. Some of you might still have some AUD trades open, and in that case, this could affect you, but I wouldn't be too worried about that. After that, yeah, we just have 80 farm non-employment changed, advanced GDP, but that's all after the next webinar. So we'll discuss that in tomorrow's webinar, guys. Discuss it before tomorrow's analysis. But coming up before the analysis is just this, and I'm not too worried about any of that stuff. Okay, so let's take a look at last week's trades real quick. Hey, Colin, and we'll see how they're going. First of all, I closed out AUD with a little bit of profit. It wasn't that much profit. I just didn't really like what it was doing, so I just closed it out. It didn't seem like it was going the direction I wanted. And I'm glad I closed out because it is turning around now. Now, if you're still in this one, you don't really have to follow me and close out. I just think sellers have lost control. And when I'm in a short trade, I want sellers to be in control. I want bears to be in control. When the bears are no longer in control, it doesn't make sense for me to stay in the trade. It's pushing all the way back up to resistance. It's very possible that it's going to hit this resistance area, test it, and then continue down. So you could, in theory, stay in this trade if you want to. Personally, like I said, sellers were running out of steam, so I closed it out. So I got a little bit of profit on that one, but nothing major, nothing that I'm really happy with. It was a tiny amount of profit, just about a quarter of what I was targeting on the trade. So, you know, not that great. New Zealand CAD. Now, this one closed out with my full profit target. This one ended up working out quite well. Hit my target. It's around about here-ish. Doesn't really matter exactly where it was. The point is it hit my target. So I shared this trade with you guys last week. I think quite a few of you entered, and I think most of you should be out of this trade by now. That being said, it does look like it might continue to move down, but I don't really think it's worth holding. I'm happy with my 2R target. What's next with New Zealand CAD is a question I've been asking myself. We do have a bit of a range here, guys. So I'm waiting for it to hit the bottom of this range, move down to here, possibly. If it does, I'll be looking for a long. So this one has been closed out with profit. I'm gonna mark it as a potential upcoming trade because I want to see price move down to here. Now, I know that might be a bit confusing because I said it's not really worth holding on, but I also want to go long if it moves down to here. Now, when I say I want to go long if price moves down to here, I'm not saying it will move down to here. I'm saying if it does, then it will hit the bottom of this range and I want to go long. So we're just going to wait and see if it does. So yeah, that ended up being a pretty nice trade, guys. AUDUSD, take this one off the list because it's closed. Another trade from last week, AUDJPY. This one's obviously not going too well, but I wasn't in this one, so I didn't close it out. I skipped this one in favor of the AUDUSD trade, but obviously this one should have been closed out also when it became clear that it wasn't going to move down. Basically, when AUDUSD, let me rephrase. If I was in AUDJPY, I would have got out AUDJPY at roughly the same time I would have got out at AUDUSD. These are pretty well correlated pairs. AUDUSD is kind of like AUDJPY is a cross pair of AUDUSD. So AUDUSD is the master pair. When AUDUSD starts showing that sellers are losing control, then it's clear that AUDJPY is going to follow. So I would have closed this one out if I was in it, but I wasn't in it. So yeah, just going to drop this one to here. EURUSD. Now this one's a bit of a different story. I didn't get in this one personally, but I shared this trade with you guys. I know some of you got in. It's moving quite well. Obviously, hold on to this one. There's no reason to close this one out. One small issue with this trade is obviously this minor support level here. So do be careful with this minor support level. Price has already showed signs of stalling at the support level, but it looks like it might be moving further down today. If it breaks through the support level, I think you're pretty easily going to hit your target. So do hold on to this one. It's going quite well. AUDCAD is a long trade that I unfortunately missed, but I was looking at getting in on. Is anyone in on this long trade on AUDCAD? I'm just going to quickly check the forum because I vaguely remember seeing someone posting this to the forum also. Yeah, it was Giovanni. He posted it to the forum. So Giovanni is probably in it. Oh, George is in it. Well, a lot of you guys are in this one. Steve's in it. Laurentio is in it. Nice. Okay. So, oh yeah, I see you on the forum, Cole. Colin's in it. Okay, so a lot of people in this one. So let's mark this one as green, as a lot of members are in it. Keep track of it. It's going quite well. I wanted to enter this one, but yeah, like I said, I missed it simply because it broke at around about 2 a.m. I think it had an initial break before that, but then at 2 a.m. Is when it really took off. I just wasn't really watching my charts. We can see here, it broke at 3, then it pulled back down. Then I was looking for price to push back up, show me buyers were in control. And then it just didn't happen until like 2 a.m. So I missed the trade. Ah, well. Hey, Lloyd. Hey, Sydney. But it looks like it's going well, guys. Hold on to this trade. I'd be in it with you if I hadn't missed it. I see no issue with the trade. I think it's a good setup. Go for it. New Zealand CAD, we've discussed, so I'll just skip that. USDCHF, guys, USDCHF looks like a good potential setup. I identified this one on Sunday, and I'm still looking at it as a potential short trade. Just waiting for price to kind of push down to this low, roughly. Looks like a good potential short. So I'm going to keep a very close eye on it. CADCHF, another good potential short here. Price is at this pretty significant high. It hasn't really been able to break this high since February 2019. It's making another attempt now, and it looks like it's going to fail. So I'm looking for a short trade here. Something like that potentially. Hey, Mokedi. Right, so those are trade USDCHF and CADCHF is from my analysis on Sunday/Monday, probably. I think it was actually Monday. So yeah, just let's just look for some new setups from today, if we can find any. Right, AUD New Zealand's interesting. It's broken above this recent kind of minor resistance here. It's pushing up to this resistance area. Actually quite curious to see what happens when it hits this resistance area. It's not there yet, and it's quite far from it, but I'm going to mark it anyway as a potential. I want to keep an eye on this week. I want to see what happens at this resistance area. See if we get another turnaround like we did last time. Right, CADJPY. EUROCAD stalling out on top of this support area. It looks like it's probably going to keep moving down, probably. But in case it doesn't, there's potential for a long trade here. But this one's a really risky one. I'm probably not going to trade this one, guys. I'm pointing it out, but it's highly unlikely that I will actually trade this. You know what? I'm not even going to mark it because I'm just not interested in it. The support area is unclear. I'm not even that bothered with trading the euro at the moment with all the Brexit stuff happening. Look at GBP/CHF. That's sideways movement. It's crazy. GBP/JPY. Why do I have this marked here? Was someone in this short? I don't know. Anyway. GBP/SEK. SEK/JPY is finally moving down. USDJPY. Let's move this up here. Potential short forming here. I'll get into more details in a second. Let's just finish up this list and then ooh, nice little reversal on USD/ZAR. Not really trading this pair at the moment. It's just a new pair that I've started looking at. But it hit support and it's reversing quite nicely now. So that's quite interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on this pair and see how it plays out. Right. Let's wrap things up, guys, and take a look at the upcoming pairs. AUD New Zealand, I'm just waiting for price to push up to resistance, hit it, and potentially bounce away. This one probably won't happen until later in the week. It's just something I'm watching. New Zealand CAD, very similar to AUD New Zealand. I'm just waiting for price to push down, hit the bottom here, and turn around. So if this happens, it probably won't happen until later in the week. USDCHF, this looks pretty interesting. I'm looking for a short trade here. It has a decent risk to reward ratio, not fantastic, because my entry is probably going to be a tad lower than that. Maybe entering on a retrace is going to be a valid decision here. I'm just going to wait and see how it plays out. Basically, I just want this candle to start pushing down. I want to see sellers taking control. This is a pretty good setup overall because we do have a huge amount of resistance through here. That price has struggled out a lot recently. We also have the 200 moving average, which provides extra resistance. So it looks pretty good. That being said, USDCHF does have a lot of wild swings, as you can see through here. So I would call this a medium risk trade. It's at very strong resistance, but this pair has been going crazy lately. So it's totally possible that it pushes down to here and then it has a crazy swing up. So do be careful with it, but I am looking for a short here. CADCHF, very similar trade, guys. Looking for a short from this resistance area. This one doesn't swing as crazily though. So perhaps this one might end up being the better choice overall, or you could enter both of them. USDJPY, this one's a bit iffy, but it does have some potential. We're seeing price stalling at resistance. It's in line with the 200 moving average, which again just provides some extra resistance. I only use the 200 moving average as a support resistance area, and I'll only really use it when it kind of matches up with my resistance areas. So this time it is matching up pretty closely with my resistance area. So I'm looking for a potential short here. We want this daily candle to close first, so we'll revisit this one tomorrow. Okay, guys, are there any questions, or shall we wrap this one up? Do I still consider USDJPY in a downtrend? Depends what time frame. On the weekly, I would say it's still in a downtrend. On the daily, I'd say that the downtrend is being heavily tested right now. It's just broken one trend line, which I'm not too bothered with trend lines. They're just one of the many things I look at when doing my my analysis. Not my analysis, sorry. The analysis of whether a trend is active. Not I don't use trend lines to enter trades, just to decide if a trend is active. So we're starting to see a bullish trend line forming, and the bearish one kind of just broke. But I would say it's still very much early days. We can't say that the bearish trend is over. It's still below the 200 moving average. And a great indicator of the direction of a trend is if it's below the 200 moving average. It's what a lot of the banks and hedge funds look at to identify trends. It's below the 200 moving average. I'd say that the bearish trend's being tested, but overall, it's still in a bearish trend, in my opinion, especially on the weekly, but even on the daily. It's still in a bearish trend. It is at a complete, it is at a breaking point right now. This is a breaking point. If it gets above that 200 moving average, if it breaks above this resistance area, then I'll definitely start to say that that bearish trend is dying and the bullish trend is taking control. Yeah, that is, it is at a crossroads. That is correct, in my opinion. NAS 100 broke all-time high yesterday. What's the pair name? Do you know the... Alright, so this would be it. It is just NAS 100. I thought it'd have a more creative code name. Now that is an uptrend. I don't really look at the NAS or the NASDAQ as probably what it's more commonly referred to. It's not something I trade, but yeah, it is above this all-time high. Quite interesting. All right, guys, it doesn't look like there's any more questions, so I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys for attending. Go with this one. Thank you guys for attending, and I'll see you for tomorrow's analysis, which is probably going to be at 10 a.m. also. Keep in mind, guys, it is NFP week this week, and things can be a bit slow on NFP week, but we do have a lot of news coming up, so things can also pick up just because of the news. Anyway, thank you guys for attending, and I'll see you tomorrow.